Okay, how's it going? This is George, your Truck Driver Nation. What we're going to go over is because I think some of the drivers, I'm going to show this because I want you to understand if you come and you want to be a freight dispatcher and you want us to train you up. I mean, us offering you all the stuff after the fact, that's great because now you're ready to go. But I want to show you because drivers, I've got, and part of the problem is some drivers I don't think are utilizing what I'm giving them because they don't understand what we're giving them. Everything's in a format, but if you don't watch the content, because this is a virtual course, self-paced. If you need assistance at any given point, you call the office, say, "Hey, I need to speak with George because I am your instructor. I don't need nobody going in between me and you to instruct you, because if I can't get you to know it, then you're not going to learn this." And there's not one thing you can barely Good luck at answering me a question. I don't know what it is. I mean, not saying that I know it all. Remember, everything changes. We've got AI now. There's a lot of different factors that are changing inside logistics, and not including just economy. FMCSA's always got something they're throwing out there, but there's a lot of craziness going on because everybody wants the industry to get better. Industry's still good. Freight, you can get it just as well as you used to. It just has to do with the overall capacity versus the market itself, depending on the trailers that you're dealing with. But this is the way you go in. Once you get signed up and everything, you go into because there's accounts that won't be signed into because of those accounts that actually have the academic content. So when you go in, you sign in. Obviously, this is mine, um, or one of mine. Actually, this is not one of the business ones, but this is just a standard one. So you can see how you would sign in. Go in, you sign in, put your information in. Once you sign in, okay, there you are. Now, when you drop down this bar, you got textbook online access number one, number two, and then dispatcher's tools 1 through 3. The reason it's like that is because, when you're building a website, the content's only held so much on one page. Yeah, you can make it so you jump around and you don't see these little markers the way that they actually are because they kind of hide it so you don't quite get what's jumping to what. But I need you to understand because I'm not trying to make this complex. I need you to know where you need to find what you need when you need it, so you can keep moving forward. Now, as we come down, I always have a video here that gives you instructions, and then there's the content. This is the textbook, right? Then this is going to be the content inside those based on the part, then the chapters that follow, all the way down to chapter 46. That's it. That's being a freight dispatcher, okay? Now, there's a lot of content here in addition to that content I just showing you, chapters all the way down through 46, 1 through 46. But that's going to be content in relation to car hauling, oil field, intermodal, marine work when you're pulling boats out of the ocean. So for those, I don't teach those. I know what they are because I did them, but for me to teach those would actually cause problems, and you really need to have somebody that's going to send you out with another driver to actually get you trained. But as you go through, you can actually see that each one of these is the parts as well. These are links. So when you click on these links, they'll open up. And as they open up, you'll see the video for those. These are going to be the videos. So let's go here. We'll click on, let's just do this one. This will be fine. So once we click on it, it's going to open up. It's going to pull up under OneDrive. So under OneDrive, you can actually do it more than one way. So it's going to have the content. You can sit down here and read it, and you can zoom in on it. Where's your zoom button? There's a zoom button right here. You can increase the visibility of that given content, whatever that says window size, but you can go to 100%, whatever size you want. So this is all the content. But what you want to do is these are going to be the videos. Okay. And when I click on it, I don't think it's going to show you. You probably won't be able to hear the video, but this is going to be the content. I put them in videos so you can actually listen to them while you're actually cruising. Don't watch the videos. Make it so that you can actually black screen it, and that way you're not having no issues with obviously killing yourself. But let me get through it. It usually may or may not have that, but as you can see, it starts the video instance for the video content. This is basically 29 minutes long. So when you get done watching the videos, and you can go back and forth. So let's say that you watch something, you can always scroll back and forth through the content and see, what was in, whatever content you was needing to line up with that particular chapter. So you're not missing it if you actually need to see it. Now, obviously, there's videos in here that demonstrate different portions like filling out contracts, carrier packets, um, dispatch service agreements, etc. So that's all in there as well. But those you're going to have to, if you can listen to them, that's not a problem. But when you get done with the day, then you really are going to have to go back and actually see, how, when I say, well, okay, this is how you fill it out, you need to go back and watch at the end of the day, well, how it's filled out. And I get it because you're a truck driver. When you shut that truck down, if you've had a hard day, you're going to climb in that sleeper and you're going to be out. So, excuse me one moment. I got to sneeze. I don't know what it is with me and sneezing these days. But now, obviously, if you do listen to these and you're watching these videos, possibly this is going to be you right here. This is a head on right here, as far as I'm concerned. So you need to keep your head in the game and make sure that you're paying attention to content when you're actually having to watch visual content after the fact. Now, the way I did it in addition, this is the bonus material. And when you're needing to do this bonus material, you can download any of these files, right? This is just a list of the bonus material, right? So you can download it on the PDF. But when you come into the actual videos, I listed the bonus material without the links so you'd understand. But when you come down to the bonus material, there's basically 40 pages of this bonus material, and I keep adding on. But this here is going to actually be out of the textbook. So if you look at chapter 1, and any videos in yellow are not active. So if they're marked in yellow, don't sit there and poke on them. They're not active. But this is going to be the video links for further learning. That's the ones that you're looking for. And as you go through it, it'll have the videos. Now, once you get down to here, Master and Dispatch Documentary Key Insights, this is stuff I added that is actually really important. You can click on it, it'll go to the videos and stuff. But these are things that if it's on here, is as a reason why I wanted to show you it. So make sure you don't miss any of this stuff. I'm not going to go step by step, but each one has its information in here, and the reasons I have it in here is obviously important. But as you go down through here, it has everything you need to know. Some of these I put in videos because it just wasn't, I really was no place in the content. I could have put it in that content, but these points I really need to make sure that you understand. So that's the reason I just made their own link type of setup for them because I didn't want you to get distracted on it. But it's the warning signs, all the good stuff that you need to know when you're going through this content. Let's see what else. But that's the main thing that I wanted you to see in this. But as you go through, you can go down through here, hit every section has its points. So I mean, for me to do it, you're not going to get this until you actually stop and read this. I mean, look at it. And but like here, this is all contracts and stuff, and this is the labels on the contracts. Because when you sign up, you get all these contracts, and you can see there is a lot of contracts of different types based on what you're actually needing. But then when you go to the contracts, they're also subdivided there so you can understand that they stay in the same format for what you're doing. And obviously, we do an affiliate program where, like, obviously, once you learn to do dispatching, you're dispatching, you can always send us a student. We give $100 for each student because we don't charge that much for the course itself. Um, or that's not really the course that you're paying for. You're actually paying to help the girls and everybody help you because we don't make money till the back end. We don't make nothing on the front end. But we got dispatcher tools. You can go through these. It's got the different things about all the tools, load boards. Number 3 is going to be notarization. There's nothing that we don't cover. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I'm not trying to teach you every little step. See, all these agreements and stuff, they're all been made by law firms. I got them when I was a recruiter, when I was recruiting for different companies. So I just basically pulled their information out because they were legal, and it saves you a lot. You ain't got to worry about paying a lawyer to do all this mess. So just take your time. There's a lot of them. Download them all if you want them. It make your life a lot easier. But these are the main ones that you need. And there's a lot more than this, but this is the main one you need for the course for you to be able to function as a dispatcher. That's what these are. There's a lot more for different topics in the, what is it called? I think it's in the products and services. So make sure you don't miss it. But anyways, also on the test preparation, like for example, when you go here, give me a second. So give me a second, let it pop up. Central navigation, that's going to be 11-minute video. Give me a second. Let me show you where the test stuff's at. Okay, yeah. So this is prep test, right? So yeah, I think there's 7 on this side or whatever it's going to be. Now I just set them all up differently, because it's as I made them. I didn't get nobody to do any of this for me. I actually did it myself. So when you're clicking on these, like this one, for example, and obviously you can maximize the size. It'll go in. I think these are each 30 seconds a piece. I think it's 25 questions. Yeah. So these will be basically it covers an hour. But for these are practice. So it gives you the question and then it gives you the answer with the rationale. So that way, let me move on up here. So there's the answer to this one. For example, let's see if we can move around so you can see this. So this gives you the answer as well. So each one has its own thing. So that way you can go through and you can move around. It pretty much everything's labeled. So we got. So you can go through these test questions and it definitely helps you get ready for the course test because you have to make it 85%. So what else we got? Going down. That's going to be that. And let's see, test. Da, da, da. Now, if you need stuff on instructions on the website, we've got a section back here that actually teaches you um, the course itself. But if each one of these you go through, you will see that. Give me 1 second. This is instructional content. So when you're needing to know how to do stuff, because we don't teach software, I actually went through and did some stuff. Like obviously I had the book, how to use Telegram, and there's more than one way to do this, right? So how to use recruiting owner operator because people don't know how to talk to owner operators, believe it or not. You just tell the people, hey, you need a dispatcher or not? Can you get me the freight? Because that's what they're going to be asking, and you know whether you can or can't. This is going to be as far as recruiting. Each one has its own topic, like this is going to be using text. This is going to be FMCSA stuff like Safer Web, using Ring Central. This is using 10th Street. This is using Breezy as an aggregate system. This is using Zoho as a CRM. And obviously, I list all this stuff back here. It gives examples. Website designing, basic website designing. So for those that have to actually build a website. Now, I can do every bit of this for you and set your whole business up, but we call it a VIP program. I just basically set the whole business up, get you going, and off you run. And if you sink it after that, it's because you didn't study the course good enough because this is not neuroscience, okay? Computer literacy. So those that don't understand why we're not, teaching computers, you understand because it takes time. You have to work with the software. So even though if I set your company up, you still really need to see that software. Okay. But anyways, that's going to be the short portion of all this. I just wanted to show you, the biggest point was, you know, as a um, as a truck driver, if you're needing to actually learn the course, then we have it all lined up so you can drive the truck and learn the information while you're driving because we do understand you're trying to make that transition from that truck straight in back over into dispatching without missing much of a payroll. And I totally get it. That's the whole point reason you're doing it to begin with. But anyways, if you need help or if you need financing for that program, we have a way that you can get finance for the program so you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I ain't got the money for it. I know it's only $500, but people still have issues. But if you need any help or you have questions that you need to have things addressed, please let us know. We'll show you obviously how to get going and how you can balance the two out. Now, once you become a dispatcher, you cannot drive a truck. There's no way to balance those two out because brokers are up during the daytime hours, and that's the same time you need to be loading your trucks. Whether they're picking up or they're dropping off. So keep that in mind. But this will help you understand how you can actually do this course at being a freight dispatcher and be on your truck learning. For those that are not on the truck, this is you can use this content to understand how you can obviously train at any point, like while you're at work or depending on whatever your job is and or after work. Even while you're driving home in your car, for you to have an hour, 2 hour commute, they work in offices and stuff. If you're an office rat, then obviously this will help you to be able to acquire that information. But like I tell people, don't watch these videos while you're driving. Just turn it off. If you got the premium version of YouTube or whatever the software is on, then you can do a blackout screen. You're not watching it, and you can still list the information so you don't have that tendency of wanting to be distracted. Okay. But anyways, make sure you visit truckdrivernation.com and understand the information. Give us a call, 210-343-1118, 210-343-1118, or send us information via support. It'll be support@truckdrivernation.com. And well, obviously, we're here to assist you. I hope this information kind of answers the questions for everybody wanting to do the course and you don't feel like you have the time. You 100% have the time. The rest of it has to do with your overall ability to stay assertive. We're not here to waste your time, and we don't want to have our time wasted, even if you pay for the program. We need you to succeed because you're the reference for us out there on why we did such a good job for you to get you going. I'm not a salesman. I'm not here to try to pitch you on something that you're not interested. So like I tell everybody, if you're not interested in doing this, please don't do this. This is not made for you because the truck owner operators have got to have people that are not going to sink them. So if you want my letter of reference, actually, if you want to get certified by me, then I've got to know that you're ready to walk out the door and be ready to go. I don't care if you did pass the test. I got to know when I ask you questions that you're there with me on the same page. You're not going to be perfect. I get it because there's always a learning curve, but I need to know that you're not going to hurt people because these people have families, they're paying for these trucks, etc. For those in logistics, you know what it feels like. But anyways, thank y'all everybody so much for your time, and look forward to actually meeting you or talk to you in person. But anyways, have a blessed day. Drivers, be safe out there on that road, and we'll just kind of talk to you when you get back a hold of us. Thank you for your time. Have a blessed day.